Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Claim What's Yours. I'm your host Vaughan Reinecker, and today I'd like to talk to you about a typical day in the life of an insurance broker, another typical day, the life of an insurance broker in Johannesburg, South Africa. So after arriving at the office, we had a chat with our work colleagues about our success in the rugby over the weekend. South Africa played France, a little bit of history between us because of the World Cup, and after we all shared some nice warm stories about the game and our experiences, started to turn our computers on and get going. So first mail we got this morning is a note from one of the leading insurers who are asking us to complete a fresh agency application with the insurer. There's been a change in the insurance company, or they've had some regulatory changes from their point of view, so they asked us to fill in a new agency. And the agency agreement that we have with each insurer governs the code of conduct between us and the insurance company. The insurance company say, yes, Vaughan, we will allow you to write business on our behalf, but there's certain things that you need to give us. So details of your company documents, your phase license, copies of your PI policies. You need to be able to show us that you can run a business. We can successfully do that you maintain records, that you keep your clients' information, and that you provide the clients with a minimum level of advice and needs analysis that is required in terms of the Phase Act. So we have to submit all of that documentation or supporting documentation to the insurer to show that we are capable and able to write business on their behalf. So also in terms of that agreement that the insurance company give us, can we write business on their behalf with a pen effectively so we can write and give rates, or do we have to refer everything to them for them to agree upfront before we can confirm the quotes to the client? So we are in the form of the latter. We're a properly structured insurance broker who requests quotes. We're independent from various insurers who then give our clients the best type of cover that we believe is suited for their risk, with the best insurer who is best suited for that particular type of risk. So as in a rugby game, we've got a hooker. We know that the hooker can do that. We also know in insurance, this particular insurance company is good in that area. So we'll say, listen, for that particular client, we believe this is the best insurer. There are 10 other insurers available, but we said that is the best insurer for that particular risk profile. So needless to say, we clicked on the link and the link doesn't work. So we phoned the insurer and said, can you please resend us the link? We can't get past the opening page. We can't get past our login or our sign-in or our email address. So can you please help us so we can do that? So an administrative thing that we were dealing with this morning. Second thing we got, a note from one of our leading clients, commercial client. Their auditors have requested our officers to provide copies of all of their annual policies, short-term insurance policies placed via our offices, and this is to allow the auditors to perform their audit function on the company. So we've gone into our records. And fortunately, obviously, we keep records. We've got records going back to the start of the company in 2014, but we're only obliged to keep records for 5 years, although we've got more. So we went into our renewal documents, prepared a matrix for our client and said, here is the policy types. Here is the renewal dates of each of those policies, and I think there's 6 or 7 of them. And here is the policy numbers, and here are the dates that these policies run for. We sent that note through, premiums paid in advance. We sent the letter off to our client, who will then share it with the auditors to allow the auditors to perform their audit or independent review. I think this is an audit. It's not an independent review. Audit on our client's company so that they can prepare their annual financial statements. So that's the second thing we had this morning. Third thing we had this morning, which of particular interest to us, is sometimes there's some things that you don't know. So as a client, as an insurance client, there are some things that you don't know about. So your policy document is issued, the cover is put in place, and you have a claim, and we're going to give you an example of what happened. So one of our clients had a claim. The insurance company agreed that the cause of loss was covered, the quantum was covered, and they agreed to pay the claim. The thing that you may not know about, or you don't check, or you haven't checked, or you can't check, or you don't know where to find it, is, has the insurer applied the correct excess to your claim? So we had a claim. One of our clients, scenario applied, The damage caused was covered. The insurance company agreed to pay the claim. Insurance company drew up the agreement of loss, sent the agreement of loss through to our officers and said, here's the agreement of loss with the client, please get them to sign it. Now, more specifically, we're talking about what is the value of an insurance broker. And this is what we do. We're insurance brokers. We have to add value to our clients' policies. So let me run through with the balance of the example. Insurance company sent through the note, and this claim was over 100,000 Rand, been assessed, agreed, sent the agreement of loss through to us. And when we looked at it, one of our claim staff said, Vaughan, I've got the agreement of loss. Can I send this to our client? When I looked at the agreement of loss initially, I thought, sure, okay, yeah, it doesn't sound right. Something looks a little bit out of the ordinary here. Let me click on the policy. We open up our client's policy. Let me have a look and see what the excess on the policy schedule reads. So the excess on the policy schedule and the excess that the insurance company had applied to the claim were incorrect. The excess was not in our client's favor. The excess was in the insurer's favor. So the insurers were deducting a higher excess than they should have deducted or applied to the policy. Our job as a broker, that's our job. That's the value that we add. We went back to the insurer, took a screenshot of the particular section and said, thank you very much for your agreement of loss and agreeing to settle our client's claim. However, upon reading the policy document, this is what we believe the excess should be in respect of this loss. And the excess that the insurer had applied was a percentage excess. It was 10% of the claim, as opposed to the policy, which actually showed a flat excess. We sent a note to the insurer and said, is this not the excess that should be applied? Insurance company came back to us not long thereafter to say, yes, Vaughan, we apologize. Here is the revised agreement of loss. That simple checking and knowing our client's policy is what brokers do, is what we do. And we were able to give our client an extra 11,500 Rand on their claim. So the question I ask is, how many clients does that happen to? You don't know what you don't know. You don't know that excess has been applied correctly or incorrectly. You got a check in your account, but you actually been shortchanged. There's no malice. The insurance company didn't do it deliberately. Oh, let's see if we can save money. But it was just the incorrect interpretation by either the insurer's clerk. Could have happened in our office that the incorrect amount was paid. So what is that worth to you? What is that worth to you as a client? Is it, how much money is that worth? Well, in this case, it's worth 11,500 Rand. And how many times does that happen? How many times does that happen with the conventional insurance market where there are brokers involved? And how many times does it happen in the direct market? Because mistakes can and will be made. But that's the value that we add as a broker. For our client, we were able to give them an extra 11,500 Rand. We did bring it to their attention that the original offer was lower, and we managed to increase their settlement. They were very helpful and very grateful for our help. And that's why we're here. And if you'd like us to do the same for you, like, subscribe, or send us an email. Thanks.